Welcome into our lives.
And welcome to the Expanders Club podcast.
We're so happy to have you.
Join us as we embark on a journey of deep exploration, soul searching, and asking the hard questions.
With the goal of truly understanding the most aligned, empowered, and purposeful versions of ourselves.
We want to live an extraordinary life, and we're willing to dig deep to find out what it takes.
Buckle up. You're about to meet a new version of yourself, an extraordinary one. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Expanders Club podcast. My name is Brooke Harris. I am your host. I am a CEO. I own my own beverage business that I've been running for the better part of a decade now. It's been quite a journey. I also am an oracle and psychic. I am a mom. I am a wife. I am many things, and maybe most importantly for our time together, I am your friend here on this spiritual journey, this journey of evolution, of expansion, hoping to create moments of joy and learning and expansion, aka the Expanders Club podcast. Which brings us to today's episode. This is a little, if you're new, hi, welcome. All the episodes are not like this. So whether you like this or don't like this, definitely go back through our catalog and listen to a few others. If you've been on this journey with me, one, thank you. I very much appreciate you. And it will probably be no surprise that I wanted to share some information on this topic. We are talking election today. I am not someone who talks politics often, and I promise not to do it often on this podcast. But this is a very big, intense time for a lot of people, and it felt important for me at least, for my process, it felt important to get information from something other than this dimension, from something other than my brain, from something other than social media. And so I ventured into a higher dimension, higher consciousness, had a conversation with the universe. There's many things you can call it. To me, it is just connecting with the wisdom of the universe. There's a few different ways that I connect with higher consciousness, but for this, what you're going to see here is essentially me connecting with the universe and asking questions and getting some information. And so apologies if you're watching this on YouTube. This was early in the morning. I felt called to get on the mic because information was coming in. So, no makeup. I'm not even sure that I brushed my hair. I am looking just glorious. But the goal was to get some information, from a higher consciousness and bring it down to all of us, and certainly for myself to understand and be able to process. So I recorded this last Friday, a few days after the election. It is not my opinions. It is just the information as it came through. You will see my eyes are closed the entire time, and I am really working as a channel. And what that means is I am asking questions, and you'll hear me ask the questions out loud, and you'll kind of hear the difference between me and the messaging. There's a little bit of different language. There's a little bit of a different tone. So I ask questions and I say out loud the information that comes through, which is what is being recorded and what you guys will experience. This is a little bit vulnerable for me. This is the first time I've done this in this way, and a live recording to share with people. Obviously, I do it all the time in my client readings, but those are different and they're much more personal to the client, and I'm getting constant feedback from them, and it's a conversation. So every word they say, I'm picking up information and getting sent messages. And so doing it this way, where it's just me solo being recorded, talking to the universe, is a little bit vulnerable, and I've hesitated on sharing this, but I think some of the messages are important, and so I want to share them, and I'm so curious to see what you guys think. Again, these are not my opinions. Some of them have formed some of the information has formed my opinion since hearing it. And I do have some opinions now. I have opinions and I have even more information that I've gotten from the universe. And, you know, maybe there will be a podcast someday sharing that, maybe not. I'm hoping that we all stop talking politics soon and can get back to the real work. But I'm excited for you guys to hear this. I think some things that are important that have come through is like an understanding or a remembering that actually, no matter who you voted for in this, everyone actually wants the same thing. Like we all have the same goal of change, maybe a dismantling of certain systems. We all know and feel and are called to change. It is unfortunate that we have very different perspectives on how we get to that change, but the facts are one side won. And now we get to see how that side brings about change. And this is an interesting conversation for me because also if you have been listening or if you know me, I have very strong opinions. And also I consider myself a light worker and someone who is working for everyone, no matter what. So there are a few things like being held true for me, like this goal to unify and build community and help raise the vibration and consciousness of everyone. And this deep sadness that sometimes feels like anger, this grieving for the choices that have been made, you know? So I think I'm sharing that to say like a lot of things are true right now. And if you're feeling a lot of different emotions, like that is okay. If you know that, you know, you have to pick yourself back up and get on the unity train and be the light, but it feels hard at the moment, that's okay. Like take your time, do the grieving, make peace with it. All of that leads me to tell you that there's two main goals right now, right? The one is we as individuals need to take personal responsibility. We need to get straight on what our values are, what our morals are, what our superpowers are, how we want to show up in the world. And we need to do that. No more excuses. There's a lot of you out there that are meant for these higher, bigger purposes. I mean, all of you are, but there's a lot of you out there that are feeling called to something bigger, something more expansive, to unveiling or revealing some of your own superpowers, some things that might not fit into the norm. I'll tell you what I told my friends who are in this position. Now is the time. The universe needs you. People, the collective, needs you. Your friends who are also light workers and on this path, they need you. They need you to show up, get over the fear, recognize your power, recognize what your mission is, and fucking do it. It's time. It's time to stop playing small. It's time to stop questioning ourselves. Like it is time to get straight with who we are, remove the conditioning, remove the stories, be unapologetically our truest, biggest selves in the name of the light and being a force that helps raise the collective consciousness and all of those around us. So there's your pep talk. And that's step one here, you know, and I'm talking to everyone, no matter what side you're on. That's step one. Step two, you know, some of us can do this in parallel. Some of us just need to focus on ourselves. You will know which is right for you. But step two is unity. We need to we need to be the unifiers, the light, you know, there's a lot that's going to happen in these next 4 years. And the path to unity is what is needed. It's inevitable, and it's up to us how quickly we get there. So for those of you who feel like you are in a place and a space or are called to unite, to build community, to see differences and find common ground, it is so important. It is more important now than ever. And that also includes steering clear of people who aren't in a place where they can work toward being the light, work toward less separation. Separation is the problem here, right? And so the big goal is to remove the separation and unify. And I think we're still figuring out exactly what that means, exactly what that looks like, but you can do your part. There's a lot of ways you can do your part, as small as unifying your family. If people may have made different choices this election, unifying your family, stopping to post things or share things on social media that feel like they cause separation, or maybe stopping posting political stuff altogether. But I think, we've talked about this in many different scenarios before, and it's never more important than now to take personal responsibility in all the ways for your power, for your actions, for the change you want to see, be working toward the changes that you want to see, that some of you voted on and some of us didn't. But personal responsibility and working toward unity and unification. Those are our goals right now, whenever you're ready. All right, guys. I hope you enjoy this episode. Like I said, it's a little different than how we usually do things. But I have the ability to see and communicate this information and wanted to do so in the hopes that maybe it helps someone. Again, no matter what side you're on, it is our responsibility now to step into our power, take personal responsibility, and work toward uniting the people in our world. So let's go. Let's do it. Big hugs to everyone. I am sending so much love and doing my very best to be the light. And let me tell you, I am not perfect. I am on the roller coaster feeling all of the emotions. But I know the mission. I know the big picture mission, and I know my role in it. And so I'm looking forward to stepping up into that role and invite you to join me. All right. Much love, guys. We'll see you on the other side. We know you're hurting. We can feel the pain and confusion in the hearts and minds of so many. Let us lead you to and help remind you of the truth. That you are all one, and everything happens for a reason. Okay. Why did the election go the way that it did? It's a means to an end, my dear. On one hand, this is the more peaceful path, even though it doesn't feel that way. Trust us, this is the more peaceful path. But this is a means to an end, and we're sorry that the end feels so far away to you on your human timeline. But we promise this leads to good, this leads to peace, this leads to the ascension and expansion that humanity needs. And these are the final steps to get the collective, to get all of you ready? To get to the place that you all know is possible, there is still so much work. There's too much separation, too much individuality from a non-unifying perspective. You should know and claim your individual power, but you knowing and claiming your individual power should do no harm to others and should not take their power from them. Society, the collective, has a lot of work to do in the shadows. There's a lot of inner work to do. And this is the opportunity. This is the time. What is this election showing us that we need to see? Or what's the... We need some more information here. The root of the problem, the root of what just happened, the root of the energy of your current time is several things. It is, like we said, it is selfishness and individuality. It is fear of one's own power. And in that fear and inability to recognize, it is the eagerness to give away power, to believe that someone else has the power, to believe that someone else is coming to save the day, to believe that someone else is going to do the work. The burden of the work, the burden of the steps, the opportunity to get where we all know and see you can and this will go is on you. It's on you individually. It's on you as a collective. There is no single guru, no president, no politician, no individual coming to save the day. It is about recognizing that, again, coming back to your own power in a way that is empowering for all and uniting together to understand what is really best for the collective. What is it that we want out of this human experience? What does heaven on earth look like? It is not pointing the fingers at others. It is not seeing your problems as caused by someone else. You have the power to create the exact life you want. But that creation cannot interfere and harm the ability of others to also create their life. The more you can see each other as one energy, one soul, one version of this light that is all working toward a common goal, the faster you can get there. The more you can see that, the more healing happens, the faster this unification happens. And this election, this circumstance is a symptom. It is a symptom of the denial of self-worth, the denial of honoring and owning your own power, the denial of our truest state, the state of love, the state of oneness. And sometimes, or maybe always, the only way out is through. There's no escaping the work. And the work is about to become very clear. The results happen this way to force you into shadow work individually and as a collective. Let's be clear, the work starts individually first, but you cannot only work on yourself. You cannot isolate yourself. You cannot put walls up. You cannot point fingers. You cannot judge. You cannot push the others away. This is a time where you have to come together. So the work starts with yourself, but encompassing that work is the ability to unite with others, to see different perspectives, to have conversation, to ask questions. This is really a time to ask questions and understand why and what needs to be done. Stop pointing fingers, stop the anger, stop anything that creates and causes separation, and start asking the questions to each other. Start trying to gain perspective on why we're here and what your part is in helping to change things. You are all unified by this common theme of change. It's just different perspectives and reflections of what change actually is and means to you. So there's this beautiful underlying desire and call that you're all feeling for change. You're all feeling for something more, something bigger. And it's about being in communication and collaboration to unify what that change means and how it comes together. Having these figureheads, having these politicians constantly giving your power away to someone who's going to come fix it is the problem. It is one of the main problems, and it's time to stop doing that. It's time for everyone to take responsibility in this path, in this mission, in their role in moving their communities, moving humanity, moving the collective consciousness forward. This happened this way to cause disruption, and again, trust us, this is the most peaceful way that disruption could happen right now. And while it hurts and is hard for so many of you, this moment is meant to fuel you. It is meant to break that last little bit of you that is holding on to lies about yourself, stories about yourself, parts of you that aren't true, a life that doesn't feel true. It is meant to break you free from that and have you start asking the real questions, have you step into your truest mission, your truest self. This is meant to be a moment that brings you to your knees and asks you, what am I going to do now? What is my role in this? And what is my role in this for the future? And how do I help? How do I make a difference? And the answer to that is going to look different for all of you. But the important piece is in asking the question and committing to being a part of this solution. What's the message to those of us who disagree with the outcome? Darlings, we're so sorry. We feel your pain, and we're here to promise you that this is the way through. This is the way to get to all that you know and believe that can happen. This is a moment of burn it all down, change it. And we're sorry it's not aligned with your viewpoints. But you must understand this is the only way to bring everyone together, to get everyone to see. It is going to be an intense time, an intense 4 years, and it's now up to you to take personal responsibility for yourself, how you act, how you evolve, how you show up. What is your role during this time when a lot of things are going to crumble, there's going to be a lot of disharmony. There is going to be a lot of heartbreak. How do you show up for yourself, for your neighbors, for your community, for the collective, and to move a higher purpose forward? You are the ones we were calling on to do the work, and we're sorry. We're sorry that it might feel like it's always you having to be the bigger person, having to do the work, but you chose to come to the earth with this future, the wisdom and information that you brought with you. You made the decision to carry these perspectives, and so now this is your duty. To be the uniters, to hold the space, to hold your ground, to continue to fight for what's right and what ultimately will be best for all humans, including those who chose differently than you at this time. And they just need a different way to see. They have different shadow work to go through. They will have a different experience, but this time and these happenings are meant to unite you. And you guys are meant to be the ones that hold the space for that unity and do the work. And as things change, you welcome anyone who has had a different perspective than you in the past. You welcome them into the circle of unity, the truth, the path to ascension, higher consciousness, to a better life for everyone. It's a very important role. And we thank you. And we're here to give you the courage and let you know that you are supported. You are supported. All you have to do is make the choice and commit to doing this. And find your people, find the community, and grow it. What's the message for women? Women, you know the truth. You know the truth, and there's different levels of you each knowing it, and there's still so many of you that deny it, but you know the truth. You are the creators. You are God. You create life. You hold the power to everything in your palms, in your heart, in your body. You are the uniters. You have the most essential and important role here on earth and in all levels of consciousness. And your strength and bravery and wisdom are so needed right now, more than ever, even though it feels like your neighbors have abandoned you, even though it feels like there's a constant denial of your power and the power of women as a collective. You've been here before. You've experienced this in so many lifetimes. But this is a lifetime where it changes. This is a lifetime where you have the opportunity to use your power, to speak up, to join forces, to truly know unapologetically how powerful you are individually and as a collective. And you have the power to heal. You have the power to unite. And no matter how many times others try to deny it, it is a reflection of you denying it for yourself. The moment you believe, the moment you step in, and more women step in to their power and using their voice or shining their light however it feels suitable in their life, the more you recognize the truth that you are God, you are the creator, you have the ability to heal everyone and everything and hold space for them. And the female energy, the feminine energy is exactly and all that this earth needs right now to heal it. The moment you know and own that truth, it becomes a ripple effect and it becomes undeniable to even more and more people. So women, ladies, you are called to know your power. Know that you are the true creators and start to create the life that you know you and all women and all people on this planet deserve. Be the leaders that you are. Be the leaders that you came here to be. Lead with heart, lead with force, lead with bravery, lead with kindness and wisdom and compassion. You are everything that this world needs right now. And the more they deny you, the stronger you get. It is your time. It may not feel that way right now, but it is your time and you are supported. Some people are asking if they should leave the United States. The answer is no. You chose to be here, dear. You chose to be here during this time specifically. You chose this exact life. You chose to be a part of this exact moment and to be exactly where you are for it. You have a role in this. You have a role to play. You have as important as a role as you are willing to admit to or recognize. But just remember, you chose to be here. Your soul knew this was going to happen long before you even came to Earth. And now you go back to asking yourself those questions. What is my role during this time? Why am I here? Why did this happen? What is my role during this time? So many of you have a higher purpose, have an ability to connect to a higher consciousness, have higher consciousness that you've just buried. And now's the time, darlings. Stop denying it. Stop denying yourself. Stop denying your power, your ability, your wisdom, the knowledge you came here with. Stop and step into the light and walk the path of the light. Know your power and share it with everyone around you with the intention of uplifting them into the light as well. What's the message for Trump voters? You have a role to play in this as well, and it is not the bad guy. You should be asking yourself the same questions. Every answer we've given, we are talking to the collective. We are not talking to one side or the other, because you are all one. So you have a role, a very important role to play in this. And you are not the bad guy. or girl or a bad person. You know that. And it's doing no good for anyone to point the finger or feel like you are, but it is important for you to do your shadow work. And a lot of that shadow work is going to be around owning the decision that you made and the reasons that you made it. And being very clear on those reasons. And for many of you, those reasons are not because of some guru, one single person. So being clear on those reasons. And if this man that you elected doesn't follow through on those reasons, strays from your values, it is time that you break unity with him, with the party, with anyone surrounding him. And you stick true to your values and know the reason that you made this decision at this time. And as things unfold, and if those reasons no longer feel true or don't feel like they're being followed through on, or promises feel broken, or you see injustices, then you think for yourself. You act for yourself. You act in the name of unity. That is your role. It's like an accountability partner for yourself. The choices that you made and those around you who made those choices. And it is your job to unify. It is your job to see other perspectives. Yes, you may feel like you won something right now, but as more and more separation occurs, as half of your country continues to be separated in this way, there are no winners. There are no winners, and no one is coming to save you. It is time to take personal responsibility. If you want change, you make change. You change yourself, and you commit to changing things for the better for everyone around you. And that's your commitment. It is not to a person. It is not to a party. It is you are committed to change, and you are committed to making things better for everyone around you. And if you stay true to that, you will also be a light bringer on this path to elevated consciousness. Unify, commit to unifying. Where do we go from here? You rest. And then when you feel ready and you feel brave, you step into your light. You step into your power, and you do that through many different ways, but you have to ask a lot of questions. You have to understand what's still in the shadows. You have to understand the why for the separation and come at it from a direction of really trying to understand, not pointing fingers, not judging, understanding the why. And then you get to work on how can these problems be fixed? What is my role in fixing them? And what is my power? What is my role? What is my responsibility to myself and the people immediately around me? How do I want to be? How do I want to show up? What do I want out of life? What do I want to contribute to life? What do I want to contribute to society? How do I move forward in the light, in the most expanded version of myself, in a way that unites and expands others, in a way that is always of the light? This is as big and as important as a moment in time as you all feel it is. It is an awakening. For some of you, it's an awakening today. This moment, the moment the decision was made, you have woken up And there's no going back. There's no going back. And the world needs you to go forward. Your soul needs you to go forward. And for others, you might be feeling it a little bit, but the awakening is coming. The awakening is coming for everyone. And for those of you who are a little further ahead on the path, you push forward and you open doors for those who are behind you to come through. You open the doors for them to feel safe to change their mind, for them to feel safe to be themselves, for them to feel safe to be in the light. You open the doors and you welcome them as they walk through, no matter what. No matter what. And that's the work that needs to be done right now. Unifying, removing separation, creating unity, no matter what. And it is not an easy task. We understand that. It is painful. And there's more pain to come. And it is hard. And there's more hard to come. But get right. Get right in yourself. Get centered in yourself. Get clear on your power. Get clear on how you want to show up. And commit to it. Commit to being the light. Commit to unity. And we promise you'll understand this all. It will all be okay. It will lead to this change, this disruption, this overhaul of the way things are happening in society that everyone wants. It will lead to heaven on earth. There's just a lot of work that needs to be done before you get there. And you are supported, you are guided, and we are sending so much love and hope and trust for you to trust this process, trust yourself, know yourself, love yourself, and love those around you.